Why don't you just rub it in? Why don't you just rub it in that I don't have a lightsaber?
Hey, I didn't realize you were doing the countdown already. Hey, what's up?
Live from New York, it's
Theme Park Thursday Live.
It's Theme Park Thursday Live with Dillos Diz. Featuring Frank. And Jen.
Oh, what was that last clip from? I don't know. This is Theme Park Thursday Live with Dillos Diz. She is Jen.
I'm on the wrong side tonight. Hello.
And I'm Frank, and we are here for 30 minutes. Hold on to your hats, kids. We had a Theme Park Thursday podcast drop earlier today. What we do here on the live, at least for the time being, is mention a couple of things that have popped up since we recorded. We recorded on Monday. So, I don't know. Lots have happened in the world of the theme parks. We got 3 topics that we're going to cover here, and the chat will decide. This is a slanted. I know what they're going to talk about. And,
do we have 3 topics tonight?
I mean,
know.
We'll see. We'll have a fast 2 topics, and then we'll have a third topic. Indeed, Jen, thanks for rubbing the lightsaber in my face. I appreciate it.
No problem. Lewis, I'm sorry it glitched. There's always the replay.
I thought we were the ones that glitched. Other people glitched. Hey, the Tiki Room with Elizabeth and Sarah. Thanks so much for being here. 111. Well, Lewis, topic number 1 is the Brightline Drama.
Oh, he tricked you.
We're happy to talk about this 3 times over if you would like. Topic number 2, that's entertainment. Good thing I spelled that right. I wrote it 1 minute before we went live, right? That's good. As we know, a lot of entertainment has been called back to Walt Disney World. Some of your favorites, some not mentioned. And, you know, in that little article, there was a third thing mentioned. Now, topic number 3 is the Galactic Star Cruiser dropping its poster. No, it's not that. It's a Friendship Day. I think they're doing it in Paris. Out of 5.
No, I don't think that was it.
Oh, it's the end of Happily Ever After on September 29th. I mean, I think on Twitter last night, I think people got a little worked up about it. I said on Twitter, I almost posted it as a poll, and I pulled that back. And I only asked this question, and which we'll get into with topic number 3. I don't know if that's going to be first or not, but I asked the question if Happily Ever After was a failure. So I'm here today to
I started a thing
on Twitter, started a thing on our one-channel Discord at DillosDizResort.com. Of course, DillosDizResort.com, your escape to nostalgia with Dillos Diz. Patreon levels beginning as low as $1 per month, including that one-channel Discord, DillosDizResort.com. Did I stall long enough? Let's see how people... Hey, let's change the name. At Theme Park Rob is worked up. He's worked up.
He's ready. He is ready to go to battle.
And Sarah's been in mourning happily ever after. Rest in peace. As Steffers would say, rip. 231, I see. 1, 2, 3, I see. I think we got to, I'm leaning towards 1, 2, 3 because I think we'll knock this out real quick. And I think Steffers picked 1 because of the universal element in topic number 1. I'm not going to lie. I know she's skewing it because of that. So the Brightline Drama. this is from OrlandoSentinel.com. This is actually the article from July 16th.
What month are we in?
I'm thinking ahead to October when happily ever after will be no more.
Oh, wow. Listen, it's also your birthday month. So you better be nice.
And that's nice. So Universal Orlando is trying to force Brightline to reroute the tracks of the whole train there closer to Universal's theme parks. To get its way, Universal's leaning on the Central Florida Expressway Authority, which controls the State Road 417. Hey, we call that the Greenway where I live.
Sure do.
417 rights of way that Brightline wants to use for its preferred route to Disney. The Expressway Authority is meeting Tuesday, that was this past Tuesday, to decide. And what happened from that meeting was that the delay began. So we're in a holding pattern here. This train will never happen. Let's be realistic. And it won't be at any of the theme parks, and everyone will suffer. It's really, I mean, I don't want to make it dramatic, and I don't want to have an overreaction, but I feel like these are the things that we are to expect. Your train's going to stop, and then you're going to get on the tram at MCO and go to your gate at your airport there. So that's the expectation there. We don't want the train in Disney. Let's be clear. And everyone's like, oh, they got rid of the Magical Express because of Brightline. Well, here you are. Now you're going to pay for your Magical Express, whatever they're going to call it next year. And you're not going to have a train.
Yeah. I mean, do you think there's a chance that they keep the Magical Express now for a little longer? I mean, it's not really how Disney rolls, right? I mean, I don't really see it happening, but like maybe there's a chance of that. I don't think Disney really works backwards unless they give up on a nighttime spectacular after 4 years. I mean, I'm just gonna. Oh, we're really stirring the pot. You're really just. I think we talked about this on the Parks Monorail's Most Magical Hour, which if you missed it, we reunited for our summer edition on Tuesday night. So go check out that replay if you missed it. But we talked about this when the news first broke. And we weren't too thrilled with the idea of this. And we were like, where are they going to go? To Disney Springs? That's weird. And then what are you doing with your luggage? And all the things. And I don't love the idea of it going to any theme park, really.
Right.
Even though in any other city area, like if you're in New York, if you're in DC, I love the fact that trains stop everywhere, Chicago, whatever. I love that it makes it so easy for tourists. This is fantastic. I don't know if it's that like Disney and Universal aren't really like the city of Orlando. So I don't know. There's something about it that I'm like, don't put trains there. I don't like it.
No, I mean, I think for Disney, it's always kind of, as much as it's not like that anymore, but it was always meant to be this kind of isolated area. It's not Anaheim, it's supposed to be, when you get, when you go into it, you disappear into it kind of thing. You just go into the property. Yeah. So, I mean, does a train really make it any different than your rental car? No, but the only train in Walt Disney World should be the Walt Disney World Railroad. Oh yeah. And that one in the Animal Kingdom and the monorail.
Correct.
The other things I'm forgetting.
Consider the monorail a train. The train to conservation station. I almost said convention. Conservation station. That train. Is it the what is that train called? What is the actual train called? Does it have a name?
It has a name, but I don't recall it at this time. Don't test
me. Like you go under the sign for Rafiki's Planet Watch.
Right.
You get on the train, but I don't know what the train's name is. Please help us in the comments. Thank you. This is not a hate towards Animal Kingdom. I just honestly don't know the name, so I would love to know.
I'm just going to say that everyone in the chat right now is like, every tangent you take is one less minute. We're here to talk about Happily Ever After.
Yes.
That one in the Animal Kingdom. I'm very happy that the Tiki Room is here with us tonight.
Yes.
We appreciate their support. Thank you very, very much. We can just move on, right? I mean, I just think, my thing is when something like this happens, you're just never going to see it. You're not going to see it where you think you're going to see it. It's going to be some lame in between. It's going to stop on iDrive is where it's going to stop.
Yeah. And this is just, I think, a project that will have meetings for meetings. So they'll just continuously be, and like in 10 years, maybe we'll see something. I don't know. Maybe Wildlife Express Train.
Oh,
Thank you, Lewis and Nate. Now we know. The more you know.
Just to follow up on a comment Nate had in the chat. No to the Cinemagic, whatever the heck they're gonna.
They're trying to get you because you're trying to get them. So they're trying to get you back.
You're not gonna get me tonight. More entertainment is returning across Walt Disney World Resort this summer from the Disney Parks blog. You heard all the news yesterday. So we got the return of the wonderful world of animation lighting up the night at Hollywood Studios. Hashtag always MGM. August 15th, Beauty and the Beast live on stage. Am I going to have to take my 5-year-old to see this show? I haven't been there since before Sunset Boulevard was built. That's not true. I knew a lot of friends who did that show, so I saw it several times. That's not to disparage Beauty and the Beast. Yes. It's been a long time. Turtle Talk with Crush is returning. Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is returning. I was waiting for that after the Monsters Inc. TV show on Disney Plus there dropped. I knew that was imminent. So August 21st for Turtle Talk with Crush. And then at the very end of this, we'll get to the last paragraph momentarily. So things we don't see on this list so far. Citizens of Hollywood. The Hoop-de-Doo musical review.
Yeah.
Those, I guess any sort of... if you want to include, right, they're not doing the luau yet at the Poly. Right. So those are the two big ones that stand out to me. The Nemo musical is number 3, probably. That was really the third one I was thinking of. Where and the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. So
right.
These are the things that surprise me, and I'll go back in backwards order. The Stunt Spectacular surprises me because that is a huge amount of seating in that park.
Yes.
That if the capacities are rising, put the people somewhere.
Yeah.
And figure it out. You still want to have a smaller capacity in there. You want to put little dots down for the seat, whatever. And that's not where we are. Are we there right now? Where are we going with everything? We don't know. But, and as much as I'll sit here and fight to the death for Citizens of Hollywood to return, that one kind of makes the most sense to me because of how close and interactive it is, and you don't know what the crowds are going to be. Jen, what are your thoughts about the entertainment that's missing and the entertainment that's coming back before we get to our big finale here?
I think, obviously for us, Citizens of Hollywood is a biggie. And I worry about them the most, probably, out of everything else. Like, I think they will probably stagger and bring things back over time. Them I worry about the most because I feel like there's been so many cuts over the years that they've gotten less and less of a presence.
You're right.
And I don't want that. So I would love to have them back soon so we know that they're going to be okay. And I know that, the performers that are in these shows like Lion King and Nemo, that's a lot of work to it. And I'm sure there's some sort of staffing and training and a lot of logistics involved in why that's not back yet. But, I'm just hoping this is a good first step and we see more rollout of entertainment sooner rather than later.
Yeah. And Lewis is equally concerned about Citizens. And I kind of would love to see them get, I don't want to use the word reimagined either, but come back with a greater purpose at the front of the park. Like it maybe doesn't have to be what it is or what it was, or that it comes back and it's got a fresh coat of paint, as it were. Yes. Steffers, I see Tiki Room loves that Steffers mentioned Fantasmic, so in agreement there. Bring back Fantasmic. I got personal feelings about Fantasmic that have been discussed a lot on Theme Park Thursday with Dillos Diz. So I often forget about Fantasmic.
Yeah.
What else could Citizens be? Theme Park Rob, you want to keep talking about Citizens of Hollywood, or do you want to get to the main event here on Theme Park Thursday Live?
Maybe we'll take that over to the resort post-show.
Yeah, maybe let's a little DillosDizResort.com talk with the post-show.
Yeah.
Number 3. I still have the banner for the mystery fourth topic. You don't have one this week. This last paragraph of this Disney Parks blog yesterday talks about Epcot's Harmonious debuting October 1st. It talks about Epcot forever having its last limited time run on September 28th. And then it mentions the other Magic Kingdom show beginning October 1st, which I'll get to that in a moment. But September 29th, that's your final day to take in the spectacle of Happily Ever After.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to make a case in point. I stated it at the top. If you're just joining us, I asked a question on Twitter yesterday. People went nuts in all our social media. Like, I have no horse in this race about Happily Ever After. I don't think anything negative about it. It is a show I enjoyed. It is a show that I was surprised that I enjoyed. If I want to give you the full history, Fantasy in the Sky, right? That was the number one. It went on for 20 plus years. Wishes, Jen's favorite, 12 plus years. Happily Ever After, 4 years. Illuminations, 615 years that show ran for. Hundreds of years that show ran for. Now, Happily Ever After, in a timeline, if you're looking at how long things ran, it is closer to Rivers of Light than it is to anything else. So Disney has created now a perception that Happily Ever After was not going to live ever after. It was not. It's a fantastic show. People love it. It is more loved. You see, Jen was in the crowds not once but twice on her trip.
Correct.
Pandemonium for that show.
Yes.
You see the response of when it came back. It's not our reaction to it. It's not Dillos' reaction to it. It's not the people's reaction to it. It's not Theme Park Rob's reaction to it. Disney has made a decision to give you a show on October 1st called Enchantment. What is this? The 17th year of Walt Disney World that you're calling the show Enchantment for your 50th anniversary? That's what you decide to call the show in the Magic Kingdom on year 50? Nothing against the name of the show.
Well, kind of. I think that's where you're going with it. I think that's the way you're making.
But it's the 50th anniversary. Like, go big or go home, but you picked Enchantment. I mean, you picked a Harmonious. So, again, I think for when it's debuting, I don't know. And to have a show called Happily Ever After, it is the end of your day. Every day ends happily ever after, for God's sake. And now you get Enchantment. I'm just saying, like, it just paints a picture that Disney feels a certain way about this title and this show and whatever it will be. I have no idea what the chat is saying. I'm not looking at the comments. I'm still looking at the banners. How's it going over there in the chat, Jen?
It's okay. I think they're all just probably sitting there watching you like this. Go on. But you were about to start a fight with Lewis over Rivers of Light. So there was that. Before I say my piece, I have some things to say. Before I say them, Jeffers made a very good point. Everyone pointed out that this was a very good point. I would like to bring it up here. You would think for the 50th, all the entertainment would be back, especially like Citizens of Hollywood. Celebrate all that made Walt Disney World great over the years. Agreed, Jeffers. Good job with that comment. So,
Louis, just to be fair, I'm not disparaging Rivers of Light. I enjoyed Rivers of Light. I looked forward to them making Rivers of Light greater than what it was. It was a very cold night when I saw it, so I felt like it was a little skewed. But you knew as soon as they took the performers out of Rivers of Light, the show was dead. Yeah. So, again, these are the things when Disney makes these decisions. There's so much subtext, and there's not just the black and white you're reading in the block.
Right.
And I'm not necessarily mad at Disney. I'm mad that they haven't considered everyone's feelings. Because is it still gonna be a projection show? It's still gonna be fireworks? Is Tinkerbell still gonna fly? I'm sure. So how different is it going to be? I just don't know why you couldn't table Happily Ever After for Enchantment as your 50th celebration, questioning enchantment. That's really where I am with that.
I have to just bring up some comments here. Jeffers, Animal Kingdom, hot days, cold nights.
It's true.
Lewis is clarifying. Rivers of Light was the worst bit of Walt Disney World Entertainment Spectaculars. Okay. Yes. Okay. And everyone has a lot of feelings. First off, I'd like to say that as Dillos, I think we get pinned as haters with a lot of things, such as AK haters and Happily Ever After haters. And we are not. We are not either of those things. We just prefer something else over it. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, Jen is a wishes purist. Like she'll talk about that until forever. And me, I have said in the past, as much as I say fantasy in the sky, like Sorcery in the Sky and MGM was my thing, but and OG Illuminations with all the classical music was also my thing. Yeah. But I was burned out on fireworks from working in Walt Disney World. Like I saw fireworks so many times, I was like, it just doesn't do it for me anymore. So the whole Wishes era escaped me. I don't think I stood on Main Street once for Wishes. I think I saw it from the Contemporary. I saw it from Fantasyland. I saw it from the monorail station. Whatever. I didn't really watch. So it was nice to do because the first time we watched Happily Ever After, the month this podcast actually started on the Improviser's Guide podcast. To watch Happily Ever and watch it all the way through, it made an impression on me. Yeah. So again, I don't know how we've developed this rep.
That's right.
It's a rep.
I think it's from you stirring the pot more times than not. Now, I think, like you said, we saw Happily Ever After for the first time during one of our first visits back to the parks together as adults with our kids, with our parents. So there's something to that. So there's a place for Happily Ever After in our lives. This past trip I just took, I fully admit it, got me a little teary with Tink flying at that moment. I had a new appreciation for it. I had always said Happily Ever After was a good show. It was an amazing projection show. It was less of the fireworks, more of the projection. It was just a different show than Wishes, and it didn't tug at my heartstrings as much as Wishes. That's all that was. However, I know that it did that same reaction that Wishes had for me. It has had for so many people. So I fully understand how many people are feeling that loss because I experienced it with Wishes myself. I think Happily Ever After is just had some bad luck to it. It only started 4 years ago. You throw the pandemic in there, so it goes away for a while. It comes back right before the 50th, where they're going to do a new fireworks show. They probably already know in their heads, well, it's the 50th. This will probably go on at least a year and a half, this new fireworks show. What are we going to do after that? Oh, let's figure that out. Let's start fresh after. I feel like the timing was bad for Happily Ever After, and it definitely deserved more time for the show that it was.
Call the show Happily Ever After, Enchantment for the 50th. Right. There's no reason to not maintain the Happily Ever. This is my whole point. The Happily Ever After title. It should last. It should last. It should last 22 years, like Fantasy in the Sky. I get technology changes. I mean, that's your point, Jen. The show's going to run for a year and a half. The whole world's going to change in a year and a half. Right. So they're going to have to figure something else out. But there's no reason why you cannot maintain the idea of Happily Ever After and just subtitle it Chapek. Just call it Happily Ever After Chapek for the 50th anniversary. You're enchanted with the word enchantment. I mean, I'm just gonna say it. I think it's
probably like one of his sleek words that he likes to use. Also, a comment I would like to make about Dillos: we don't like change. You all know this. So regardless of whether or not it tugged at our heartstrings in a big way or a small way, this is a change. They're getting rid of something that's good. There's no reason for it. We're bothered by that. That's the Dillo way. You don't get rid of something that's good for no reason. So we're bothered by it. We don't like it. Dr. Val, I mean, let's easy on this because you know it'll go right to his head. It's MFA. It's Fedora ahead. You saying your comment against Stephers? Which one? That it's going to break up friendships? Oh, okay. Wishes was, are you? Mm-hmm. Yes. Right. No, it's not too dramatic. It's not. I understand that because my kids, I kind of made it a point for both of my kids' first shows to be Wishes, since I took a special trip to see one of the final Wishes shows when my now 4-year-old was only like 3 months old, just to make sure, like, oh, it's officially your first show. But the show they will remember is Happily Ever After. The 7-year-old is already really upset. I told him today about it, and he's upset that it's going away. And again, it's fireworks in Disney World at night. Ugh. Don't mess with things that are making people feel those feels, and don't mess it up, whatever you change it to either.
Louis saying again, I think the new. I'm sure the new show again. The way technology has been increasing rapidly before our very eyes. I agree. There's no reason to take away those 3 words and not slap a subtitle on it. There's no reason. Yeah, we all live in reboots and sequels, and this is our life. Our life is constantly in sequel and reboot mode. Right. Just subtitle it, for God's sake.
And don't they do that with like the holidays? I mean, there was always like Halloween wishes.
Hollow wishes, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but we'll just say the same words at the same time. Yeah. What is the barge equivalent that they could add to Main Street to ruin it? I mean, that's true.
They could bring back that sorcerer's hat and just drop it in the middle of.
I mean, that music is good.
And that was a great point. And our friend Disney World freak Carlos, he mentioned that on Twitter yesterday about that if the music is not as good in this show, it may not have nothing to do with the technology. Yeah. If the soundtrack is not as good as it is in Happily Ever After, there's gonna be some issues.
And I think that was it for me. So the moment it was getting me more with Happily Ever After was towards the end, with a little bit of a shift in music, bringing you in, talking about the Happily Ever After, all that kind of stuff. Whereas Wishes kind of kicked off with that, like, Starlight, Star. You're already in. You have me. You have me at hello. So I'm already there. And you have to make that music tug at the heartstrings. It can't just be the soundtracks and call it a day. It can't. It has to have something more that's really getting you. You need people crying on Main Street. You need it.
Well, this was this is as heated as we're going to get here. And the 30 minutes is rapidly coming to an end here. We want to thank all of you for being in the chat. We knew it'd be a good one. I appreciate the Tiki Room coming in with their comments. Welcome. I hope you come back for the insanity, because it's insane every week. It's like this
every week. It's crazy. Every week. Yeah.
I'm a little more fired up than usual. We are heading over to DillosDizResort.com. We're at the quiet pool on the balcony. We're doing a little post-show, DillosDizResort.com. Patreon levels beginning as low as $1 per month. That one channel Discord awaits you at $1 per month, but it's also available at $10 per month. So let me just say that out loud. We're seeing how the Tiki Room saying just feel like they've been through the therapy. And
why do you think we're here every week?
This is what we do. Okay. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you along the way. Don't forget to like the video and tell your friends that we do this. Do all of the things. Bye-bye.
Deuces.
And the